Prime Minister Modi spoke in Parliament today on the President's address and utilized this opportunity for a no-holds-barred attack on the Congress party and a response to Rahul Gandhi, opposition leader and Congress MP's speech in Parliament a few days ago. So this was an all-out and out political attack. It assumes great significance because it comes on the eve of 5 key state elections. But apart from the political attack, it also touched upon a number of economic issues which right now are a challenge for the government and are being presented as its opponents as failings of the government. So let me start with the political side of it first. So clearly the target over here was a lot of things that Rahul Gandhi had said in its speech. The Prime Minister is continuing on the strategy of the BJP, which is to show up the Congress's ineptitude and inability to lead as the reason why they are still the best alternative politically, which is why, even though it was stressed several times that the Congress just has 44 seats, they're still being treated as the primary opposition party. At one point, Prime Minister Modi even says that it seems as if the Congress does not think it will come into power for the next 100 years. This is why they are saying things like this, but we are ready. So a lot of the oral mastery that Prime Minister Modi is known for was on display in this speech. Let me just quickly touch upon some of the key issues that he addressed. One of them was in response to a statement Rahul Gandhi had made where he had talked about 2 big industrial houses in India being like the coronavirus variant. He referred to them as AA, but everyone knows who he is talking about because he has often picked on these 2 industrial leaders and has targeted the government, saying that they are soot boot ki sarkar, that they favor just these 2 industrial leaders and not anyone else. So the Prime Minister responded to it, saying that how can you call our industrial leaders as variants of the coronavirus? Why do you want to scare entrepreneurs in this country? And why do you dislike the spirit of entrepreneurship in this country? So that was one of the key points he made. But let me come to the economic issues that he's highlighted. He's highlighted the handling of his government of the coronavirus pandemic in an economic sense, says that India at the end of this has more FDI than it ever did, says that India's exports are higher than they were ever before, and the faith of the world is in India as a growing economy and as a global mighty country with a great economy going forward. He's addressed the issue of MSMEs and said that we had a contingency fund of 3 lakh crore rupees for MSMEs. He's citing a State Bank of India report in which he quotes figures about how many jobs have been saved because of their intervention for MSMEs, how many companies were saved from shutting down, etc. He addresses the issues of jobs, and this has become a politically sensitive one for the BJP, by talking about how his budget, the budget that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented recently, has focused on a number of infrastructural projects, which at the end of the day is the key to really creating more jobs. So he's taken on that bit of criticism and responded to it, saying that we are the ones who are working on jobs. I think his biggest comeback or hit back was on the question of inflation. And inflation is an important issue because worldwide inflation has become an issue that people are now worried about. It's become a political issue in the United States as well, and in India as well. There is a concern about inflation. So to this, the Prime Minister has spoken about the record of inflation during the UPA government, where it was often the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, was often in double digits. He said that up till 2020, our CPI number never even crossed 5%. And then he goes on to cite Congress leaders right from P. Chidambaram to Jawaharlal Nehru and their various comments on inflation at different times to talk about how his government is working to quell inflation and making sure that at least the price of everyday necessities for people are not too expensive. So he's hit back on all of these fronts which are being seen as challenges for the government right now. He's talked about the economic record of the government. He talks about the PM Gati Shakti scheme. scheme and the multimodal transport scheme, and how these will really remove problems for the country and for infrastructure development. He's talked about the agricultural sector, and this one's important as well, because right now the rural economy is seeing a hit in terms of the return of consumer confidence and how much people are willing to spend. But he does talk about how even during the pandemic, the production of food grains was at an all-time high, and so was the procurement. And even the recent budget and the economic survey does highlight how the agricultural sector continues to be the silver lining truly for the Indian economy, and is projected to do better than its counterparts as well. So on that front, the Prime Minister does have a point when he says that farmers have managed to keep up their output and produce right now as well. So all in all, a very political speech and trying to diffuse the opposition attack on his government's economic performance. The clear target over here has been Rahul Gandhi, opposition MP, which seems to also be part of the BJP strategy.